Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Sunday, April 24, 2022. Sun in Taurus and a third quarter waning crescent moon in Aquarius. We express ourselves by harnessing the power of our material resources to create security, and we have an inner drive to stabilize our communities and alliances through planning and positive action. Now is the time to attend those networks we rely on for support and validation. The waning crescent moon points our attention and labor in the direction of decrease, simplifying our lives by actively releasing attitudes and dispositions that have gotten our way, letting go of ideals that no longer serve us, and actively pushing out the stuff and things that are weighing us down. Let it go. Sun in Taurus is a time when we use our physical resources to our best advantage to create a sense of stability in our lives. Think of this like putting your sprouted seeds in a pot with rich soil to watch them grow, giving them sunlight and water so they can grow strong. We make it our purpose at this time to draw in the best materials for our own security and expansion. And Uranus and Mercury are also in Taurus this time. Both planets, well, one planet, Mercury, is in a sextile aspect with Venus. Until yesterday, Uranus was also in a sextile aspect with Venus, which is in Pisces. We seek positive outcomes at this time surrounding our sense of security and cooperation with creative change. Especially we're able to see the changes that we need to make and have conversations about them with good outcomes. Okay, I'm going to get right into the aspects, but first I will point out the handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. Most of the symbols on the page have made it into the key. If you desire a point of reference, it's right here. I've otherwise divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is your relationship with yourself, what it feels like for you to be in your body, heart, and mind, and in your home. The transits and aspects the moon makes are all very brief, and they have a subtle impact on those things you think, feel, know, and intuit, but may choose whether to express. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is the outward expression of yourself in the world, specifically in your work, social, and civic spaces. I address the sun and the rest of the planet's movements on this side because they have a greater impact or influence on that outward expression. And we begin on the sun side today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 8:50 this morning. Mercury goes square to Saturn, right there. Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, and Aquarius have ruling signs here. This aspect will be with us for about a week through the 1st of May. Our intellect has work to do, and it isn't really the easy kind. Whatever it is that we're thinking about or trying to plan, communicating about it might be difficult right now. Don't allow negative or challenging thinking to get in the way of your ability to complete what you're trying to do in terms of mental labor. And then at 5:37 this afternoon, Mercury goes sextile to Neptune. Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces most affected here. Now this one is with us through Friday the 29th. This is the 1st. This is through 4/29. We may find ourselves in a spiritual mindset during this time, or a very creative mindset, feeling connected and available to talk about it as well. Our conversations about dreams, love, friendship, and connection to the greater aggregate are likely to be productive. Let me say that again. Our conversations about dreams, love, friendship, and the connection to the greater aggregate of being, all things having being, are likely to be productive. And, this seems to be almost in direct conflict to this. It says we're having difficulty with communication. We have a lot of difficult mental work to do, but we also, we still have this very dreamy vibe coming in. And it's like okay, there's the work stuff that we have to focus on, and then there's the dreams that we have as well. So communicating about the work we're doing, that might come up with some negativity or difficulty, but communicating about our dreams and our sense of connection to spirit and to people, those conversations and plans are likely to be more productive. And in the ongoing column, of course, we still have Jupiter and Neptune continuing through tomorrow, raining down blessings of positivity, fertility, creative growth. Pisces and Sagittarius have ruling planets here. Venus and Mars are also in Pisces with Jupiter and Neptune. So Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, probably pretty heavily impacted by this as well. Jupiter is here to help us expand our capacity to connect with the broader world. Neptune wants to inspire our sense of connection to spirit and to all things having being, and our creativity, our ability to come up with fresh new ideas and grow. These energies amplified under pressure together in their home sign of Pisces are sending an energetic invitation to receive the expanded creative flow, to seek more inspiration from our intuitive practices, and to notice those positive incoming opportunities that result from the thinking and dreaming and creating that we've been doing. These vibes are full force through tomorrow, then they will fall back into the background. I encourage you to appreciate the downpour of blessings and the growth that they're providing while you can. And the Sun square Pluto is also with us through tomorrow. Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio would be most involved here. Our conscious outward self-expression finds itself challenged with the transformative energies that are coming down. See these transformative energies? This is a little bit like a tug of war between our ego and our interior depths. Although we are going through some shifts and changes in our lives and we are welcoming in creative opportunities, we still have to focus on who it is that we're trying to be, what it is we're trying to become, be, do, or have in our lives, put an intentional effort, put our personal power toward those deep and total changes that we seek to make. Then Mercury sextile Venus will be with us through the 11th of May. Giving us positive cooperative vibes between the intellect and our ability to attract what we need and desire. Taurus, Virgo, Gemini, and Libra have ruling planets here. At this time, we're empowered to negotiate the terms by which we receive attention, affection, and compensation. And I encourage us all to take advantage of this energetic opportunity. Things have been changing, okay? We have had a lot of inspiration lately, and we've been going through a lot of growth and changes. We're trying to put down roots here. We're trying to figure out how to draw in the resources that are going to help us grow in strength and abundance. And so, it might be time to come to the realization that we need more or need something different. We need to be receiving something more or different in order for us to have that growth that we seek. And now is the time to be having conversation about what you need and desire going forward so that you can grow like a strong, healthy tomato plant in the sunshine with plenty of water and good soil. At 6:33 this evening on the moon side, Moon goes conjunct to Saturn. Cancer, Capricorn, and Aquarius. This aspect can put us in a serious state of heart. We may face some challenges with our families or at our homes regarding negative feelings. This kind of harkens back. All of this is going to harken back to this Mercury square Saturn, because you see Mercury is square with Saturn and Moon is conjunct with Saturn. So of course Moon is going to be square to Mercury as well. So some challenges, especially in our hearts and homes. Negative feelings can come up, and definitely feelings of like being restricted or not being free to do the things that we want or need to do. And then an hour later at 7:33, this is a void of course moon going square to Mercury, Gemini, Cancer, Virgo, and Aquarius. right here. Some difficulty expressing our feelings may bring about words and behaviors that don't reflect our reality. Be careful not to say things that you don't mean in your consternation about feeling restricted, okay? This is taken together can be a challenging evening. Don't forget to have compassion for yourself and your loved ones. Remember that these difficulties rarely last very long. This is about 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. If you don't feel like you can be good company, maybe just go be your own company, right? We will have an opportunity to clear the air soon after this. In the meantime, overnight, we have a void, of course, that is about 10 hours long, where we can reflect, meditate, journal, and otherwise engage those intuitive and creative practices that help us have important conversations with ourselves and spirit about how we feel, what we would like to express, and how best to go about that. And then in the morning, the moon will make ingress from Aquarius to the next sign, which is Pisces. This week, on Thursday, Mercury will make a trine with Pluto, and that will last us a couple of weeks, bringing in this ideal functioning to our thoughts and conversations about the transformations we're undergoing. So what I see here is like the difficulty and challenge coming in for a couple of days, right? Having these conversations, we've got a lot to think about. We've got some mental work to do, and we might have some challenges communicating about the work that we have to do. But we're really opening up an opportunity after going through these challenges to deal in an ideal functioning way with the transformations that the changes that we're going through. Pluto kicks off the retrograde season this year on Friday, and Mercury makes ingress to its home sign of Gemini on the same day. We'll see that new moon in Taurus next Saturday when we begin to plan from the future from our space of being grounded in the familiar so that we can grow strong. And next Sunday brings solar Beltane, the midpoint celebration between spring equinox and summer solstice when things really begin to heat up. Okay, that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe, click the notifications bell. I post here every day. I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. Friends, I appreciate it so much when you comment to ask questions or provide encouragement. You all are so great about that. It isn't just gratifying for me to know that you're listening, and it is, but it also lets YouTube know that you're engaged in the content, and that's very helpful. So thank you. Also, if you know anyone for whom this guidance may resonate, I encourage you to share, because sharing is caring. And if you feel like you're getting good information, it'd be nice to let somebody else in on the deal as well. Now I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about tarot as it relates to astrology today. First, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick rundown of today's astrology before throwing a random card that hopefully speaks to today's energies. So let's get into it. The tarot card on the side of the page is the Five of Pentacles, and it relates to the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. Pentacles are the earth suit of the tarot, so that's sort of how we get that. The Five of Pentacles reflects a time in our lives when we find ourselves lacking the resources that we need. Pentacles is very much about the resources that we have and that we need in order to get by, our good health, but also a good income, good wealth, finances available to us. So Five of Pentacles is a time of need. We're noticing a scarcity or a lack. We might find ourselves in poverty somehow, missing out on something that we absolutely have to have, or feeling insecure about our ability to keep those resources coming in. It can be really, it can really reflect for some of us a time of desperation, right? You see these people, one of them is sort of walking around on crutches, and one of them is walking around in the snow without any shoes on, right? So they're sort of out in the cold. You can see the snow coming down, and it looks like a very desperate time, a very difficult time, where we're having difficulty either with our health or with some sort of resource that we need. But what we cannot fail to see is that these people are also walking past a building, an institution, something that is made out of material resources, right? And it's got this glowing window that sort of beckons. It's sort of a beacon to come to this institution, all right? Buildings can also represent people, but a lot of the time it's an institution we turn to for help. And this is just a sign, like if you are experiencing any lack, any poverty, any insecurity about being able to draw in the things that you need, like rent money or food, or, perhaps you need medical care that you can't get, now is the time to ask somebody who has their hands on those resources. Now is the time to put out your hand and say, I don't have what I need to get this, but I absolutely need it. And if you turn to the right institution or person, if you turn to the people who provide that, certainly they can find a way to help you. And if they can't find a way to help you, somebody will. Because listen, as far as resources go in the world, there is enough for everybody, okay? There's enough food for everybody. There's enough clothes for everybody. There's enough of the resources that everybody needs to get by in the world. Sometimes we just, we get ourselves in a situation where we're not pulling in the resources we need to be able to support ourselves. And you know what? We're social creatures. We have to rely on one another. Don't be afraid to rely on an institution or a person who has the resources that you need. Don't be afraid to put your hand out, negotiate your terms, let them know what it is that you need so that you can get that covered. Don't walk around in the snow, literally or figuratively, okay? Don't lose your feet because you were too proud to ask for some shoes. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and mix up some cards while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Taurus. Sun in Taurus is the fixed earth sign, so our outward conscious attention is really on how we draw in resources for our security and stable growth. Mercury and Uranus are in there, providing a lot of quick thinking and impulsive change, which is not necessarily always comfortable for Taurus. But Mercury is in a sextile position with Venus right now, saying, having these conversations about what we desire to pull in, is going to be a profitable thing for us, where it's at least going to help us get what we need, right? Don't forget to put out your hand and ask for help. Don't forget to let people know what it is you need in return for what you do. And even if not in return for what you do, don't forget to let others know what it is that you need if you find yourself in a place of scarcity or lack. And then the waning crescent moon in Aquarius, we focus on our communities while we also focus on letting go of the crap that no longer serves us. And that's ideas, thoughts, and attitudes and dispositions. And it's also just stuff. Push it out, let it go, release it, and hopefully some of it can be of good use to our cohorts or communities, and the rest of it can just be released, just let go. Tonight in the moon side of the page, as far as our feelings, our inner life goes, there might be some difficulty between the hours of 6:30 and 9:30 this evening. Maybe a challenging time as we, struggle with our sense of stability and security and our ability to converse with other people about it. So show compassion for yourself or others. And if you don't feel like you can be good company, try being just your own company for a little while, right? But then we have that void, of course, moon for 10 hours. It's between Aquarius and the next sign, which is Pisces. And that's a good time just to be in a space of meditation, journaling, reflecting on ourselves, having the important conversations with ourselves and with spirit about what it is that we're dealing with, so that hopefully, if we have that conversation with ourselves, maybe we can avoid being unkind to others. On the sun side of the page, Mercury square Saturn and Mercury sextile Neptune came in today. So it's really saying, we've got a lot of hard mental labor to do. We've got some stuff to think about between now and the 1st of May. And we might be working on a plan, or, trying to work out for ourselves how a certain thing is going to work for us to keep us feeling stable going forward. And it might be difficult right now to communicate about that. So, it best possibly to do that work by yourself on your own, at least until you have like a cohesive idea and plan what it is that you want to say. And then on the other hand, that Mercury sextile Neptune says we also have this spiritual and creative mindset for ourselves through the 29th. This is very much in keeping with this Jupiter conjunct Neptune, which is about to go out and become more of a lingering energy than a full force rain of blessings. So, it's a good time to think about those creative blessings that came in, that fertility that came in, and to have conversations and make plans about your spiritual being and your creative being going forward. You can have some positive outcomes from those conversations. And then in the ongoing column, Mercury is sextile with Venus. We talked about that up here. It's a good time to have conversations about what you need. Ask for help. Let people know what you need and desire to, feel secure, to feel like you're receiving what you've got to have in order to move forward with life. And then Jupiter conjunct Neptune and Sun square Pluto, both with us just through tomorrow. We'll talk about them again tomorrow. Jupiter conjunct Neptune has been this really inspired, expanded flow of creative capacity in our lives, just sort of opening. They're in Pisces in their home sign, so they're just sort of functioning in this very positive and powerful way to give us some better, bigger ideas of better, bigger, and more creative, colorful ideas of what we can be, do, and have, pardon me. And then Sun square Pluto is also sure, you can dream and you can vibe on what it is that you can be, do, and have, and your feeling of spiritual connection, but don't forget what it is in your outer life that you are seeking to become, be, do, or have, right? You're still having those conversations about what you're trying to become. So don't forget to keep your eyes on the prize, so when the opportunity comes up to step in the direction of your transformation, you will take it without hesitating. And with all of that said, throwing that card over, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we got Pentacles and Pentacles. That's very nice. Aquarius is an air sign, but it's ruled by Saturn and Uranus, mostly ruled by Saturn, and Saturn's been in Aquarius. So Saturn is very much a pentacle vibe. It's very much earth and grounded, about being stable, about building things that will last for us, right? And Taurus is very much about receiving the resources that we need, how we go about receiving the resources we need so that we can grow strong from a place of being grounded in the familiar, from a place of where we've put our roots down. So Pentacles, very much about the resources, the personal resources, your health, wealth, and finances. And the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who sort of comes in grounded again in what is familiar, and willing and able to make moves. The Knight of Pentacles almost looks like an offering or a gift, like you put your hand out with that Five of Pentacles. You said, this is what I need. And then the Knight of Pentacles, almost like a knight in shining armor, comes in and says, I've got what you need. Here's a whole kitchen full of groceries, and here are the seeds and the ground and the sunshine and the water to plant the rest of the groceries so that you will be fed, as much as you need to be fed. As an example, okay? So Knight of Pentacles is somebody who has confidence in their ability to bring stability, to bring positive functioning to our health, and to bring positive functioning to our sense of structure and our sense of being able to receive what we need in order to grow. So I think that's great. I think this is like an answer to the Five of Pentacles. It's like saying, yes, we have work to do. Okay, with Pentacles always comes in like work to do, right? Because it's a labor to receive what you need. It's often receiving what you need in exchange for a labor, right? So it is a labor to receive what you need, but it's about the actions that we take to secure those resources so that we're not lacking, so that we do have strong growth. And I believe that's all I have to say about it today. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate you for showing up. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more daily aspects.